hello team and welcome back to the channel. So it's Valentine Day. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day. But yeah, let's do some Valentine's Day special DevOps project. Okay. So before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There are lots of amazing videos with respect to DevOps as well as cloud DevOps, which are going to be really useful for you. Also, people, for those who are looking into training sessions with respect to DevOps and those who are looking specifically to transition into DevOps, this course is designed for you, which is going to be starting from 10th of March. For this course, we are going to have live sessions on weekends, as well as I am going to share you and create custom videos for you on weekdays so that we can utilize the whole week. Make sure to check out this course in the through the link in the description. Okay, now let's jump to the DevOps Valentine Day specific project. Okay, so yeah, this is the project. This is not my project. It's created by Aryan Gupta, whose link you can follow him on LinkedIn. I'll put a link of him in the description as well. Okay, so yeah, this is the project, and let me show you a very interesting thing about this project. Do you wanna go out with me? If you click on yes, it will take you to some place, and if I try to click on no, this button won't let me click on no. Okay, that's quite interesting actually. Uh, this is very interesting actually. Okay, so yeah, no matter what, this button won't be letting you to click on it. Okay, you can use this project. Okay, if you click on yes, it will take you to this page. This is a very nice emoji. Yay, finally. Okay, and here you can select a date. Okay, and let's say I wanna select a date. Let's say somewhere 23rd. And yeah, then we have this page which is let's meet. So it's quite interesting project and it's not a very complex and big project, but it's like very amazing project for me at least. Okay, so yeah, enjoy your Valentine's Day with this project, and let's now implement this project. Okay, quickly we are going to set up Jenkins. For that, first of all, we need to make sure that Java is installed, and for that I'm going to install Java 17 headless. In case you are wondering what exactly is headless, it means that there is no UI for this Java version. Okay, so let's install Java. Once Java is installed, we are going to install setup Jenkins. Okay, for installing or setting up Jenkins, you can simply go to Google and search for install Jenkins. For me, it's Ubuntu machine, so I will open this, copy the whole command, okay, and go back to your virtual machine, paste it here, and now it's going to install Jenkins. Okay, so that will be of 90.5 MB, and let's wait for this to complete. Once Jenkins is installed, we are going to set up SonarQube so we can perform the code quality check. Okay, let's wait for this Jenkins to come up. Okay, it seems almost up. Few seconds more, I guess. Okay, meanwhile, it's getting up. Let's do one thing. Side by side, we need to set up SonarQube, right? So for that, we are going to need Docker. So let me type Docker, which is, I guess, already available. Okay, team. So once you install Docker, you can simply run the command sudo apt install docker.io. Once Docker is installed, you need to make sure that different users can run the Docker commands. For that, we are going to change the permissions by giving 666 permissions to docker.socket file. Okay, click this, and now other users can also run the Docker commands. Let me come out of root. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to set up SonarQube. So let me set up that docker run -d -p for port. I'm going to set up SonarQube on port 9000. Okay, and the version of Docker image that I'm going to use is going to be SonarQube colon lts-community. Okay, click enter, and that should be enough to install SonarQube container. Okay, and let's wait for this to complete as well. Meanwhile, we can try to access our Jenkins. Okay, here, and by default it's going to be installed on port 8080. Okay, and yes, Jenkins is up. So quickly we can get the initial admin password. How we can do? We can run the command sudo cat, which is going to view the contents of the file. In this case, our the contents of this file we want to see, right? Click enter, and this is the initial admin password. So we are going to copy this and paste it here, right? And it's going to ask the options. So we are going to select install suggested plugins for the initial setup. Now this may take little bit of time based on your network speed as well as the virtual machine configuration. Okay, Now here what we are going to do, let me check if the SonarQube container is up and running. So yes, SonarQube container is up and running now, right? So what we can do, we can try to access SonarQube as well. Okay. So I'll go here, colon 9000. Yes, so SonarQube is also, SonarQube is also up and running. Okay, so meanwhile Jenkins is getting set up, we can set up SonarQube. Okay, so it will provide a prompt to provide username and password. Okay, so by default the initial username password is going to be admin and admin. Okay, but yeah, obviously we need to change that, and here it is asking us to change. So let me change the password. Okay, so now yeah, this is done. What we can do next is generate the token. Token, you can put any name, you can just click on generate, and this is the token that we need to use. Okay, so we'll just wait for this, and meanwhile yeah, so let's wait for Jenkins to completely get set up, and then we are going to proceed. Okay, I'm using a T2 medium machine, and that's why I guess it's taking a little bit of time. Usually when I use a like bigger machine with 8 GB of RAM, it usually gets completed within few minutes. Okay, so yeah, let's wait for this to complete. Okay team, so meanwhile Jenkins is getting set up, right? Meanwhile what we can do, we can make sure that we have Trivy also installed. So for Trivy commands, we have these commands which we need to run. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's use a shell script to install Trivy. For that, let me create a Trivy shell script, trivy.sh. Okay, and we are going to paste our commands here. Okay, and these commands are supposed to install Trivy, right? So let me save this. Now we have the sh file, like trivial shell script we have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the permissions of execution. Okay, and yeah, we need to add sudo, and now we can execute this command. Okay, and it's going to install Trivy. Okay, let it be, it is getting installed. Meanwhile we can configure our Jenkins quickly. Okay, this and this password and full name also, and this also we can put like this. Save and continue. So Jenkins is set up now, right? Great. Now what we need to do, so basically we need to install certain plugins. Let's do that. We will go to plugins, available plugins. First I need to install SonarQube. Okay, and after that we need to have Docker, and we are going to install a few plugins of Docker build step, and yeah, these many plugins. Okay, other than this I don't think we need anything. Okay, maybe yeah, this is fine. Click on install, and this is going to be getting installed within few seconds. Meanwhile we can check the status on Trivy, and if I run the command to check the version of Trivy, I can run the command Trivy -f version, and yes, so Trivy is installed. Great. And meanwhile plugin is also getting installed. So this is the repository, you can find it on my account. Okay, and yeah, let's copy the IP HTTPS address of this repository. Okay, okay, coming back here, sorry about that. Okay, so plugins are already installed. We can configure the plugins by going into tool section. You know, whenever you install a plugin, you need to basically configure them separately. So JDK, we don't need to do anything because we don't need it now. Okay, SonarQube for sure, which is going to be sonar-scanner. You can put any name you want. And Maven also we don't need. Docker obviously we need, so I'm going to put the name just as Docker. Install automatically, add installer, and we are going to download it from the official page docker.com, the latest version. Okay, so great, this is done. We can go back here and let's create our pipeline, which is going to be named as Valentine Day. Okay, and we are going to create a pipeline kind job. Here I'm going to keep this build just 2 in the history. So yeah, okay, and then hello world. Now let's create multiple stages so that we can modify them. First will be get checkout, then I'm going to have SonarQube stage, we check out SonarQube, then Trivy file system scan. Okay, after file system scan, we are going to build the Docker image, and after Docker image, we are going to scan the Docker image, and after that, we are going to push it, and after that, we are going to create the container. Let's load stages. Let's see. Okay, okay. So let's start writing the stages. First is going to be git checkout. Okay, and for writing the steps for git checkout, what we can do, we can take help from pipeline syntax. Okay, going here and let's select git repository URL. So repository URL, this is here, you can use it. Okay, and put it here, and branch is going to be main, correct? And yeah, you see this error because error, or this 128 error, basically it means that this project is private, okay, or you do not have the credentials. So let me put the credentials. Also remember, it's not going to be private anymore. When you try to access it, I'll make it public. Okay, just to show you like how we are going to add credentials. So the kind of credential that we need for GitHub at this point is going to be a secret text, because we are going to use you can say it's a token. Okay, how to generate token? You can go to settings, scroll down at the end, go to developer settings, personal access token, tokens classic, and generate a new token. Let's provide the name as B, and here you can select like what kind of access you want to give. So basically this much first is like more than enough if you just want to access the repo, correct? So I'll just generate this. Okay, and we have the token here. Okay, okay, so once we have the token ready, we can put it in our credential section, and here let's provide the name as git dash token. Okay, so this is done. Paste it here, click on add, and here we will select it. Okay, credentials. Okay, small mistake, let me correct it. So see, when you are going to set up credentials for GitHub, what you need to do, this is git token, right? We need to update it. Okay, now the problem, uh, what I need to change, basically I need to delete it. We need to have username and token, not just token. Okay, so yeah, username and password. Username is going to be Zaiswal Adi246 and token. Okay, so password, it's going to be the token that we just generated, which is this one. Make sure to copy this token somewhere because it won't be visible afterwards. Okay, and here token name is going to be git dash token. Description, paste it here, click on create. Okay, and now we need to refresh the page so that token is available. Okay, let me set git again, repository URL, branch is going to be main, and credentials. So credentials, we have this, and yeah, as soon as I add the token, you can add the credentials, you can see the error is gone, right? Generate the script, copy this and paste it here. Okay, so first stage is done. Next step that we need to perform is going to be Trivy file system scan. Okay, Trivy file system scan. Okay, let me just correct the spelling as well. Great. So here we need to write Trivy commands to scan file system. I can write Trivy colon, and the thing is I want to I want to basically export the report instead of generating in the console. I can run the command Trivy fs for file system hyphen format. Format, basically we need to define in what format we want the report. So here I'm going to write table, tabular format I want. Okay, and output file name, it's going to be Trivy dash fs dash report dot, let's say I will generate the report in HTML format, and I want to scan the current directory. Okay, so I'll just put a dot. See, remember this command, basically when you want to generate the report in a specific format, see, I can here, instead of writing table, I can write JSON also in order to generate the report in JSON format. But as of now, I'm just generating in tabular format. Okay, okay, so next command, I want to run SonarQube analysis. Okay, okay, so for doing that, first of all, we need to do some kind of settings. For that, we are going to go manage Jenkins system, And here we need to set up our SonarQube server. Okay, for that we'll scroll down and you can see SonarQube servers. Now you see this option is available because we have installed the SonarQube scanner plugin. Okay, so I'm going to put the name as Sonar and server URL is going to be till 9000. Copy this, paste it here. Okay, and here we need to add token, right? So token we already have. This is the token and we need to set this like add this token in credentials. So for that we can go to manage Jenkins, go to credentials, then click on global for global scope, and here we are going to select secret text, put the secret here, then here name will be sonar dash token, and same name I'll put in description for clarity. Okay, now it won't be visible here because we need to refresh the page. So let me refresh. Maybe I can try saving this. Okay, now I can refresh, and here you can see now it's visible, right? So just save this. So that's done. Next, what we need to do, we need to define a variable for our SonarQube scanner. How do we do that? Okay, so basically the reason for defining the variable for SonarQube scanner is that we want to use the SonarQube scanner tool in our pipeline. And whenever you want to use a third-party tool in your pipeline, you need to define in your pipeline in some way. We can define using tool section, we can define using environments, and there are many other ways also. Okay, so here I'm going to create an environment. Okay, and inside environment we need to create a variable which is going to be scanner underscore home. Okay, and here tool name of the tool is sonar dash scanner. Okay, now we are going to use this tool in our SonarQube analysis stage, correct? So for that, again, as I say, see, writing Groovy, if you're writing by yourself it may be hard, but if you are a new person you should always take help from pipeline syntax. Okay, how do we do that? We have this option pipeline syntax, just click on it, and from here we can select whatever we want, and I'm going to select with SonarQube environment. Okay, so this block is generated, right? So we can paste it here. Now here it is saying credential. Okay, but the thing is we have already uh, configured the SonarQube server, right? If you remember a few seconds ago we did configure that, right? So now what we can do, we can simply add this, like we want to put the report on this server. Okay, next step is to write the commands to do the analysis and generate the report. Okay, for that we are going to use shell, and here I can call it in this format scanner home slash bin slash sonar dash scanner. Now you might be thinking why I'm using bin, because whenever a tool you install, the executable file of that tool exists inside bin folder. Okay, and that's what we are going to call sonar scanner from. Okay, and after that we need to add some arguments, which is tsonar dot, let's say, project key, which is going to be obviously Valentine Day. Okay, and then another argument which is going to be tsonar dot project name, which is also going to be Valentine. Okay, okay, so as of now I'm just adding two arguments. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so once this part is done, what we can do, we can build our Docker image. So let's write that as well, build and tag Docker. Okay, okay, now for writing Docker commands, what I'm going to do, first of all I'm going to create a script in this format script, and inside here we are going to write the Docker block. Again, for writing Docker block you can take help from here. If I go at the end, you can see with Docker registry. Okay, credentials, so we need to add Docker credentials as well for accessing the Docker hub. Okay, so let's write that as well. It's going to be Adi Jaiswal and password will be this one, and here we can write the name as docker dash cred. Okay, paste it, add, and yeah, we can select it. Docker installation, we already have that, right? Now we have the Docker block. So I will copy that and paste it here. Okay, and let's write Docker steps, right? So that is going to be as such Docker build hyphen t, name that I want to give, and tag it also at the same time is Adi Jaiswal slash Valentine, and this is going to be version 1. Okay, and Docker file exists on the same directory, so I'll put a dot. Correct. Okay, next step, once we have put like build and tagged our Docker image, we can scan the Docker image for any security based issues. So for that we can take help from Trivy as well. Trivy image scan. That's why Trivy is considered one of the one of the most popular like security tool, because it can work with Docker image, it can work with file system, it can work with dependencies, and it can work with Kubernetes clusters as well. So we are going to go with Trivy, and yeah, Trivy image, and now we want to export the report. So I'm gonna export it. Let's say I want to export it in JSON format. Okay, so I can put the format as JSON. Output I want to put in Trivy dash image dash report dot JSON. Now this report will be generated in JSON format. Okay, and then we need to put the name of Docker image which we want to scan, and this is the Docker image, right? Let me put it. Now this is fine, right? Next step is to push the Docker image. Okay, push Docker image. Okay, so we need to push the Docker image, and that also again we can take help from this. Let me copy this and we can paste it here. Okay, and here we can run the command as Docker push. We need to remove this dot because it's not needed anymore. Okay, now last command is going to be, okay, once again, build done, tag done, scanning done, pushing done, right? So I guess we have one extra, so which we don't want. Okay, or maybe we can have it. Let me tell you why. First, we are going to create our Docker container. Okay, so we will write this name as deploy to container. Okay, and here we are going to write as such docker run hyphen d hyphen p for port, and I want to make sure that this application runs on port 8081. Okay, and container port is going to be 80. Okay, and name of the docker image, sorry, name of the docker image which we want to use here. Now one thing that I need to tell you is that this application is running inside a Nginx server, so let me show you that as well quickly. If I open the Docker file, okay, so we are taking a base image of Nginx which is going to be used, and all these files are going to be pasted inside Nginx HTML directory. Okay, and yeah, we are exposing port 80. Okay, that means the container will be having the port on the container will be exposed on port 80. This will be used for web traffic. Okay, so that's fine, and yeah, so I'll just add one last stage which is going to be let's say deployment done. Just simple. Okay, maybe we don't need actually here. Why we need to have extra? Okay, so this seems fine. Let me add this and let's trigger it. Okay, and let's see if anything goes wrong. If so, we will fix it. So I guess there is no syntax based errors because it started to run. Otherwise, if there was any syntax based errors, immediately you would get an error. Okay, there isn't some error with syntax. So I guess that's fine, and now it has started running the Trivy scanning of file system. Okay, so let's wait for that. It's done. Now it's starting to run SonarQube analysis. So let's wait for that as well. That is also done. Now it's going to build and tag the Docker image. Now that Docker image is being scanned by Trivy. Meanwhile, team, if you find this tutorial useful and if you want to learn DevOps in more detail, you can enroll to the course which is going to start from 10th of March. Okay. Yeah, if you have any queries, you can just go to this Telegram group, and here you can, whatever queries you are having, you can just ask me. Okay. Or you can ping me directly also at the rate DevOps Shack in Telegram. Okay, so now we are, yeah, pushing Docker image. Once it is pushed, we will create the Docker container, and our application will be running inside that. Okay. Okay, so container got created. Yeah, pipeline done, and yeah, SonarQube report is also generated. I guess we can see it somewhere here. Okay, great. So just 258 lines we are having, so it's fine. And now let's try to access our application, which is going to be running on port 8081. We can access it on port 8081. Okay, you see Nginx is running, right? Now our application is running inside this yes.html. We need to put in URL. Okay, and now again application has started to run fine, and we can click on yes. It will take us to this page. We can click on here. Yeah, finally let's meet. Okay, so yeah, this is fine. And yeah, if you want to work with this, you can just for fun, you can just go with it. Let me make the project public as of now so that you can use it. Okay, and thanks for watching, team. I hope this video was useful for you, at least with respect to like writing Jenkins pipeline. Okay, and yeah, go ahead, check it out. Also, I'm not the developer of this project. Someone else has created, whose link will also be in the description, so you can check that person out as well. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today, team, and thanks for watching. So have a nice day.